Welcome everybody to Adeel Pirzada podcast. Today we're here with another special podcast. Today we're going to talk about construction and actually the reason why we couldn't make it to our podcast last Friday. So we got some exciting stuff to talk about.
Yes, welcome everyone to the Adeel Pirzada podcast. Glad to be here. I know it's been a week, and would love to just introduce this topic. We're gonna have a quick podcast episode today. We have two amazing guests, or not guests, hosts.
Yeah.
I'd love to introduce this man here. He's the founder of the Pircon group, the owner, the leader, the visionary, with a huge vision behind him of designing, building, and growing. Adeel has such great experience in construction, and I'm going to be interviewing him today on his in construction experience, and ready to dive in. And if you don't know me, my name is Kevin. I am a business development manager and a junior project manager with the Pircon group, and glad to be here and glad to just dive in, and I could learn something new like I do all the time.
Yes. Let's do it.
Yes. So just as we dive in, I just want to introduce our company, the Pircon Group. We are commercial construction experts. We do design, build, general contracting. We do the design and the build of a commercial space such as restaurants, retail stores, clinics, nail salons, daycares, office spaces, anything commercial. We do the full build out inside and even the outside as well for you. If you're interested in applying for an estimate, just click the link below. I'll put it in the show notes and you could apply and get started.
Right on. That's perfect, Kevin. Thanks a lot. Pircon is all about design and construction, so do contact us if you need any help on your construction, especially commercial. This is where we're really expert on. This is what we really provide our expertise, building commercial places. So do contact us and let us know what we can help you with.
Yes. So, if you're looking to, I know we have so many plugs going on here. If you're looking to be featured on this podcast, go ahead and send me an email, and we'd love to feature you if you're a small business owner and you want to share your story and teach someone about your business and promotion for free. We're looking for people in real estate as well. Adeel loves real estate, so come join us on our podcast. So as we dive in, we have a very rapid round of questions because we have a couple meetings to prepare for. And we just want to fill you with value. And today, we will be going into stuff all about construction. I'm going to be asking Adeel about his almost 20 years of experience in construction. Is that right? I think.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, okay.
You can say that. I've been doing it for pretty long. I mean, Pircon has only been around for less than a decade, but I've been involved in construction for a pretty long time.
Yes. So I have a full list of questions here, and if you have some questions that we didn't ask, go ahead and reach out to us, and we'll add it to the next stream. So I wanted to ask you, Adeel, is could you tell us a little bit about your experience in construction, just so we have a background of what you know?
So I think we covered that in one of our very early podcasts, the first one, that how I got into construction. So my experience in construction has always been actually working on the heavier side. The job that I had, and the most of the stuff that we learned at school, it's all about doing the bigger stuff like the high-rise buildings and how the foundation work, the structural steels, the strength of metals, concrete, and then a lot of other stuff, including the project management and how to set up cranes and how to have a properly successfully finish a project. So it's like there's so many different types of construction, but what I've been really involved like on the early stages was heavy construction, which is building subdivisions and roads and underground services and things like that. And then there is construction that we see, like home building is another type of construction that I'm very familiar with as well. I've been part of building, residential homes, so that's something I know about. And the commercial construction, which we do now, it's actually like a light commercial construction, but that's what we do now. So that is building commercial and places and designing commercial places, developing commercial areas, doing the stuff inside and the exterior work as well.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's what my background is, learning all different types of construction and doing all different things.
Which one is your favorite?
To be honest with you, I really enjoyed doing the land subdivision, like the land development work, building roads, underground services, working with heavy construction equipment. So being a project manager on that was really fun. There's a lot of things that we have to look at. It's very like when you have construction, when you look at a construction contract, there's like line items for scope of work for each work. And then there's detail. So like the bigger stuff, when we're dealing with that, it's a lot of money, but there's a fewer line items, right? It's like building a road. There's a line item for that. There is a line item for sidewalks, power poles. So like you only have so many line items. When we're doing construction now, there's so many line items because there's so much stuff that little details like baseboard, doors, lights, pot lights, cabinets. I mean, there's so much stuff, and then there's the exterior stuff. So it's actually a lot of work that way. But I think the real work is done in heavy construction. The real construction comes in heavy construction, and the safety. It's a big thing when you're working in a heavy construction stuff. So I really enjoy doing the bigger stuff for sure.
Right. Yeah. 100%. I know. Like every time I talk to Adeel, it's so cool because I know he also shares how he talks about building subdivisions and I love the word division for some reason. Divide. But I'm really curious, like, what is like, I don't know what happens in building a subdivision, like, what is behind it? You just mentioned how there's like underground stuff. So could you tell us more about that? Like, what's your steps there? What do you?
Yeah. So basically, a developer would have a big piece of land, right, and then they would come out with a plan that how they want to convert this into a subdivision. Obviously, with the engagement and cooperation with the city, they'll design it. So the first thing that happens is that any land is they're never flat, right? They're never straight, flat, or leveled. What it should be for proper drainage. So the first thing you would do as a land subdivision developer or a builder, you would come in and you would flatten out the land. So you will level it. You would grade all the land, right? And then you will build the roads, you will build the lots. Basically, you'll have a different grades that you have to set it on for the earth to be at where the houses are going to be and where the roads are going to be, where the commercial area. So they basically do a rough layout. Coming in there, and that's when you see those big scrapers and graders sometimes running, and they're doing a loop. So yeah, that's what would happen. You would come in, do that. The second thing, you'll have your underground crew. So that is where your excavators and your dozers and all the other equipment comes in.
Yeah.
And then they start digging the ground.
Is that before the graders come and level the land, or is that after?
That's most of the time, like all the time, it's after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the underground is a secondary after it's flat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually used to work in a department that was more focused on underground services. So I know a lot about that. There was another division that was working, taking care of the scraping and the grading of the land, but they would usually go in first, grade out the land so it's all leveled, it's all where it needs to be,
Hmm.
so you can start building on it. Then, but before that, you want to get in your underground crew. You want to start digging out the roads. Basically, that's where the services are. You know, your water, sanitary sewer. Um, and storm, like it's all in there. You dig those out, put those in. They go in very deep. Depends, depends on where it is and what's in there, and how many houses on the road, and like there's so many different factors.
Hmm.
So you dig those out. You would put all the underground infrastructure, pipes, and water lines and all that,
Yeah.
and then you fill it back up, and you will bring it back to the grade, the original grade that you had, and then you start building road on it, and then you start having the other shallow utilities, and then you can start having power poles and things like that.
How do you install gas? Natural
Gas is a shallow service, so
Okay.
yeah,
So it's not deep.
it's not that deep. No, it's very shallow, so it kind of used to go in after the like the deep infrastructure crew.
Okay.
Even sometimes the roads are built, like that's when more gas go in.
Would a gas pipe be like 2 inches? Like how about like is like a diameter kind of like pipe?
I'm not sure
Tiny.
about the sizes exactly, but
Yeah.
I think it's definitely more than that. And again, like it really depends on the subdivision, and there's major roads and minor roads and residential roads, and
Yeah.
so there's different road system, and then we'll have a different infrastructure based on how many homes and how many how big is the subdivision, and different types of residents, like
Yeah.
if it's multifamily, is for single family or duplexes. So it's all different, and they all get combined together in a way to figure out what the size of the pipe should be, and then the flow, and then the other things, the area drainage. So there's different ways they figure that out.
Oh, so this would be after the developer like decides, hey, this is what I want to do here with the city. Like I want to build multifamily condos,
Yeah.
a tower.
Yeah.
They would do that after, or is it like predetermined by the city like 10 years ago? Like, hey, I see a tower here, let's build it.
Yeah, pretty much predetermined. Like with these experienced builders, the developers that are going in a newer community, they basically know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
They have a pretty good plan. I mean, things always change, and it could change. Like they were planning to build duplexes, and then thought, okay, we'll just do a one multifamily, and they'll just make it work. It's but it's hard to, like, if you were planning on building single family in the whole subdivision, and you're like, hey, let's build towers here, then it won't work, because then you have more residents, more washrooms, means more toilets, more sinks, more people. So yeah, like they're pretty much designed. When the developer goes to the city, they have a pretty good planning on what they're going to do with that subdivision.
Like a land use.
Yeah, they know where the commercial is going to be, where the multifamily is going to be, where the single family is, where the duplex is. So they get zoned by the city, and they can only build those certain things. And that's why when it's being designed, the pipes and then the other things, that underground infrastructure is designed based on those things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're not already built. The pipes are not already there. If the city like decides, hey, before someone buys it, they won't put it in.
No. So, yeah, exactly. So you get the land, right? And then
Yeah.
you make a plan with the land. You make a development plan. You say, this is the land, this many acres. I'm going to build 2,000 homes, and then this much space for the commercial, this much space maybe for the hospital, for the train station, whatever that is. They sit down with the city,
Right.
they sit down with the council, and then they decide on what they want to see. So there's probably a lot more that goes into it with the mayor and with the city future planning, and it all comes together. That what are we going to need? A community hall, how big that needs to be, how many schools are going there. So all that gets decided with the city. And then they go in and then they leave. So they plan the subdivision, and then they can leave like areas for future development and say, okay, this 10 years from now we'll build a school there. And you can leave the services in the ground based on those things. Sometimes you have to change it, but they're usually big enough. Like you have it enough that it can be used for the different uses they want to have.
Okay, so they're already in there.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah. And then the city will have, so in that subdivision, you'll have different zoning. So there's this much area is zoned for single family, this much area for duplexes, this much area is zoned for multifamily, this much for commercial, this much areas for parks and other things. So that's how it gets done.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I could just see a city like a spider web of pipes.
Yeah,
underground. It just everywhere, like underground city.
Yeah, it is. It's all over the city. There's like pipes. It's all connected, and then sometimes there are different levels of pipes. That you dig first 10 feet and you'll find this, and then the next 20 feet, and then 30 feet and 40 feet.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's really cool, man. I know we could dive so deep into this and go into like so much more. I do want to cover more next week. This is more of a shorter podcast, but I know we have a marketing meeting we got to prepare for soon. So we just wanted to come here today, everyone, and just share value, share Adeel's vast knowledge on subdivisions. I'm going to be asking him so many questions after this, like, hey, how do you do that? What's there? Like, what kind of pipe is here? Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing with the hydrovac? Like, you know what I mean? What are you doing there? So stay tuned, guys. Thank you. Do you have anything else you wanted to share before we go, Adeel, or anything you want to wrap up with?
No, I actually just quickly wanted to discuss that, why we weren't here, why we didn't have the podcast last week. So guys, we were really busy, and there was a Calgary, what was it? Calgary.
Yeah, the franchise expo. Yeah.
The franchise expo, and then we actually had a booth there, and we were pretty busy preparing for that. So sorry we couldn't make for our weekly podcast, but I think we're going to have more stuff coming in the future that we're going to discuss, and we're going to have a lot of fun talking about construction things and the questions that you may have. I know Kevin got a lot of questions about construction, so we'll learn a lot.
Yeah. And big shout out if you're from the Franchise Expo, you're watching this video. It was great meeting you all. Adeel and I and Chris are so grateful just to meet you, shake your hand. And we're looking forward to doing business with you in the future. And if you have any questions about our experience or our scopes of work, you can go ahead and check out our website, pircongroup.com. And you can see our full list of scopes of work that we could do and how we could expand your franchise and expand your stores and help you with renovations, re-imaging, and commercial permits, drawings. That's all available as well. So everything's in the show notes. Go below, click the link, send me an email for an estimate, and we're looking forward to serving you and growing your business with you. This is the Adeel Pirzada podcast. Thank you for everyone joining today, and share this with someone who could use it.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.